Hey y'all, it's Crystal and welcome back to Unpolished. Today's episode is a little bit different. It's something I recently shared with a group of middle schoolers. And honestly, I think it's a message for all of us, especially those women and men who are going through the same thing that I've been going through all year long. This was not on my agenda. It was not my plan to share with you guys, but I thought the message was so powerful that I think it could be used for anyone. And I think there is no age limit on how you value yourself. We're talking about self-worth, what it means, how we lose sight of it, and how we get it back. Because just like a pearl forms in grit, our value doesn't disappear when life gets messy. It just gets refined. So take a deep breath, grab your Dr. Pepper Zero, and let's talk about what it really means to know your worth. Hey guys, I am so nervous to be invited into your classroom today. I know you're probably looking at me right now thinking, who is this adult in front of us? She looks like such a professional, and y'all may be the ones nervous, but I'm actually over here shaking in my boots. Okay, my name is Crystal. I'm a writer. I'm a photographer. I'm a community advocate. And if you've been on social media, you've probably seen me around. I think it's so cool and special that my friend Allie invited me here today to talk to you all. And I think it's even cooler that I actually have a daughter your age. So I understand how hard life can feel at this stage. Trying to figure out where you are, who you are, and where you belong. But let me tell you something. You don't need to have it all together to know your worth. And that's not just a message for me to tell you guys as middle schoolers. That is a message that I still tell adults all day, all the time. You don't need to have it all together to know your worth. But I am going to tell you a little bit of story about how a pearl is formed because I think it's so very special in relation to our self-worth and our value. A pearl is formed inside an oyster when something becomes irritating. Like a piece of grit or sand. It gets stuck inside. Instead of letting that grit destroy it, the oyster covers it with layers of protection, turning the irritation into something beautiful. That's what self-worth is like. Sometimes life throws grit at us, hard days, unkind words, rumors, mistakes. You don't make the softball team. You fail at cheerleading practice. You didn't get to sit by your friend at the lunch line. Your friend moved away, whatever it may be. But even surrounded by those things, you still have value. You can grow through the grit. I'm going to say that again. You can grow through the grit. You can become stronger and more beautiful because of it, just like a pearl. So I want everyone to grab a sheet of paper and I want you to grab a pencil and I want you to jot a few things down. And I know you don't like homework and I know you don't like taking notes and I know you don't like doing any assignments. But listen, this assignment is for you more than it is for me. It's not graded. It's not to define you. It's not to say you're not good enough. It's not to even measure you on a scale of 1 to 10. Because I guarantee you when I give you these questions, and you read them, you're going to realize that all of these people in this room have way more in common with you than you think. Are you ready? Have you ever felt like you weren't good enough? Raise your hand. We have all felt that way, correct? Have you ever compared yourself to someone else and wished you were more like them? See, I told you. We were more alike than we thought because I have done both of those things. What is beauty? And who told you what it's supposed to look like? Now, this is a tough one that we need to think on. What is beauty and who told you what it's supposed to look like? What qualities do you admire in others? What makes you feel like yourself? And what advice would you give your younger self? Those are all things that we can talk about right now. Now, not to interrupt this podcast message, guys, but I surely can't tell you those answers that those children were saying in class. But as I was saying to them, this is the same thing that can apply to adults. These are the same questions we can ask ourselves. Have you ever felt like you weren't good enough? Of course I did. I felt like I wasn't good enough the entire time my marriage was crumbling. Have I ever compared myself to someone else and wished I was more like them? Absolutely. Absolutely. When I seen happy couples walking among the street and they were holding hands and I had not spoken to my spouse in 4 days, I felt it. I felt it. And actually, I had no idea what those people had going on at home. Their life may have been crumbling and falling apart just like mine. But I valued myself based on those terrible things that were going on around me instead of acting like a pearl. I did. What is beauty and who told you what it's supposed to look like? You know what beauty was to me? Beauty was people pleasing. And everyone else told me what I should look like and what I should do and how I should carry myself and how I should act. And all that led to me was pleasing other people. And inside I was drowning in my own pain. I was drowning in my own hurt because I felt like I could not be authentically myself. I felt like I could not be me. I didn't even know who I was. I just know that in order for me to be beautiful, that I needed to be what everyone else wanted me to be. And actually, that's not what beauty is at all. What's the point of being beautiful to everyone else if you don't even feel beautiful to yourself because you're not true to yourself? Who are you? Who are you? What do you want? What do you value? What are your goals? And where do you want to go in life? Those are questions I had to ask myself. I had to ask myself those questions because I said, you know what? It is time I start living for me. For me. What makes you feel like yourself? I had to ask myself that, and I'm still learning that. I'm still learning that. What advice would you give to your younger self? And I'm sure we all can write paragraphs of advice and things we've learned now that we could give to our younger self. The core message that I wanted to tell you guys in this classroom today, and what I want you to walk away with, and what I want you to always remember is you are enough. Here's the thing. Those feelings of doubt are normal, but they don't tell the truth. Okay, I'm going to say that again. Feelings of doubt are normal, but they don't tell the truth. Self-worth means you are valuable just because you exist. It's not because of your grades. It's not because of your followers. It's not because of your clothes. It's not because of who likes you and who you like. Self-worth means you are valuable just because you exist. Shame is what tells you you're not enough. Shame says, I am not enough. The truth says, I am enough. I am valuable. I matter. I want you all to say that with me. I am enough. I am valuable. I matter. One more time. I am enough. I am valuable. I matter. When we know our self-worth, we don't have to tear anyone else down to feel seen. And I know some of you all have felt that way. You felt torn down by someone else. Gossip, rumors, and lies only spread hurt, not truth. When I respect myself, I can respect others. Say that with me. When I respect myself, I can respect others. That's how we build stronger communities and friendships. When we have a mutual respect for each other, that's how we build the stronger communities and friendship. That's how we can get things accomplished. That's how we can come together as one and help other people in our environment and in the world around us, is when we respect each other. We're able to unite. So the next time you hear gossip, try this. I want you to pause, breathe, and remember that protecting someone's reputation shows strength, not weakness. Okay? Pause, breathe, and remember that protecting someone's reputation shows strength and not weakness. Now, I have another exercise. I know y'all don't like doing these assignments, but we're going to do another one, okay? Let's rewrite the story in our own minds, okay? Think of one lie you believed about yourself, then replace it with the truth. Hey friends, I'm back again. Once again, I can't tell you everything that I heard the girls say in the class because I told them, I was like, this is a safe space. This is a safe space between you and I. But I can't interject here and tell you that even though I was talking to middle schoolers in that moment, I can still talk to you now as you and I adults because this still relates to us. So I'm going to ask you to get your pen and your paper, and we're going to do a lie versus truth exercise. All right. So tell me one lie you believed about yourself and then replace it with the truth. I'll go ahead and tell you one right now that I can think of. I'm not smart enough to write a book. The truth is, I am smart enough. I am intelligent enough. The fear was telling me that I was not smart enough. The fear was telling me that I was not smart enough, that I did not matter enough to write a book. The fear and the self-doubt was controlling me. Another lie, no one really likes me. I've said that to myself so many times, and I've wanted to give up and I wanted to quit. And the truth is, a lot of people like me. Also, the truth is, a lot of people don't like me. But the fact of the matter is, when you love yourself, it's easier to love other people. So instead of finding fault within myself when people that really doesn't know me, doesn't like me, I look at myself more and try to define my worth more to know who I am. I am made with a purpose and I bring something special to the table. All right, girls, y'all were middle schoolers, and I know sometimes you all get overwhelmed and you get anxious, and this is something you can do in those moments, okay? I want to teach you this exercise because instead of reacting very fast in a way you may regret later, or so you don't say something that you regret, or so you don't get upset, this is an exercise I do to calm myself down when I just need a moment to myself before I react. I want you to take your fingertips and I want you to gently tap the top of your head. I want you to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. And let's do that right now. Take your fingertips and gently tap the top of your forehead. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Now let's move to our collarbone. Breathe in. Breathe out. I want you to tap your wrist. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now I want you to say those 3 things out loud that we said earlier. What were those 3 things? Those 3 things were, I am enough, I am valuable, I matter. Now I know we did that exercise with those kids. I did it with them and they loved it and they thought it was so funny. But let me tell you, friends, this is an exercise that you can do with you even as an adult. Just when you need to take a moment, when you get that email that really pisses you off, that they sent, when you don't understand why they sent that email, when they replied all and they should not have replied all, or when your spouse came home and gave you that dirty look and you really want to tell them off because they didn't take the trash out last night, or when your son gets in the car and he slams the door and he has an attitude because you can't go by McDonald's, and sometimes you want to react and you want to say something that you really shouldn't say, or you want to get mad and your temper wants to go from 0 to 100 because your day has been tough enough and you feel like someone else is ruining it. That's when you need to take a minute to tap, breathe, and reset. Okay? Tap, breathe, and reset. All right, girls, as we wrap up today, I really want you to think about something, okay? And I really want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to come in here and talk to you all. I feel like you've been a blessing to me just as I've been to you. Hopefully I've been to you. But I want you to think about something, okay? How would your life change if you really believed that you were already enough? If you were already enough, how do you believe that your life would change? What kind of energy would that give off to the people around you if you were already enough? If you were already enough and you didn't have the energy of guilt or shame, or you wasn't carrying around the gossip and the rumors of lies of others, what kind of energy would that give off to other people? Your challenge this week, every day, I want you to say out loud, I am enough. I am valuable. I matter. We talked about shame. And we talked about self-worth. And we talked about how that enemy creeps in your head. But we also talked about this. I am enough. I am valuable. I matter. I want that on your brain. When you feel that your self-worth is declining, and you feel like you're not good enough, and you're feeling that shame come in, I want you to remind yourself those 3 things, okay? And every day this week, and the weeks going forward, I want you to remind one other person that they matter too. They may look different. They may talk different. They may dress different. They may eat different food. But we also talked about in the beginning that your self-worth was not defined by those things. Okay? Every day I want you to also remind someone that they matter too. That they are enough. They are valuable. And that they matter. Remember, grit doesn't define you. That grit that was covered around that pearl, that was set up to destroy that pearl, did not define that pearl. It refined it. It made it stronger. It made it more beautiful because it was able to withstand the things in the environment, and it was able to know its value and self-worth. That grit did not destroy it. Just like a pearl, your worth is built in. It doesn't go away when life gets messy or when people misunderstand you. It only becomes stronger through time and grace. You are enough. You are valuable. You matter. Hey friends, I hope that spoke with you. That I spoke to the middle schoolers. And I want to thank you for joining me today on Unpolished. This was not an ordinary episode, and it's nothing I planned. But as I spoke this to the girls, it's really something that resonated with me that I felt like I needed to carry through my everyday life as well. That I maybe needed to practice what I preached a little bit more. If this episode spoke to you, share it with someone who needs a reminder that their worth hasn't gone anywhere. It's just waiting to shine through. I love you all the most. Okay, bye.